Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to EGF FC 24. We're in Season 5 of EGFC, Week 2. Here it is George Overton, joined by Matt Baldy Hayho for the first game of the day. Howard University versus the Tribe, William and Mary. William and Mary got off to a very hot start last week, beating George Washington off stream. I mean, we've obviously seen a few seasons, many a season of William and Mary that haven't always done too great, but coming out the gate smashing it this season.
We're only in week 2, but it'll be interesting to see, can anybody get that perfect 2-0 record after just 2 weeks?
Yeah, we will have to see indeed if anybody can get that perfect streak. Howard University still searching, I think, for their first win of the season. So we'll have to wait and see about that. But it looks like both the teams are just about ready to get themselves underway with the game. Everybody's ready. So why not? Let's get the players all notified up that they're ready to start. But we're going to see Real Madrid versus Barcelona. Rodrigo, Vinny Jr., Bellingham playing as a cam, not Valverde.
Yeah, quite an interesting one there, because Bellingham, I was considering more of a holding midfielder who likes to get forward. But no, it will be interesting to see how he plays in that central attacking midfield role. And yeah, El Clasico to kick us off tonight. So yeah, a very interesting game to get us started. And it's good to see who picks who, because it's a new game. It's not been out too long. People are still finding their feet. We know defending can be difficult. So hopefully we'll see plenty of goals this evening.
Absolutely. We can, we can make our little wishes and hopes and prayers that we get a few goals here and there. And Real Madrid, very, very pacey side. They're one that you really need to be careful for on that fast counter-attack, and definitely strong with the R1 dribbling, the RB dribbling. You have to be very careful because they've got such high dribbling midfielders and attackers like Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Valverde. Bellingham obviously got great dribbling as well.
Yeah, I think after losing Benzema as well to the Saudi League, they do struggle in kind of that attacking sense for FIFA, because they don't really have that out-and-out clinical striker with, that 90-plus finishing. Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo are both pretty quick, both pretty tricky, but their finishing isn't fantastic in game for either of them particularly. But it's one of those, they've got enough pace to get through. Have they got the strength? Probably not. So it's going to be balls in behind, trying to dribble through with them. We're going to see a ball forward here. It's Frenkie de Jong, probably the least likely man you'd expect to get the first goal for FC Barcelona. And Frenkie de Jong slots it home. Fantastic start for the Barcelona side.
Yeah, massive first goal going the way of Howard, not William and Mary. I do apologise for anybody that supports William and Mary and was praying that was them, but a chance to equalise it up. No, massive save from Ander ter Stegen. William and Mary are the hosting side, so they are the team with playing as Real Madrid, and Howard are playing as Barcelona. So Howard with a big 1-0 goal coming in early on. And yeah, like you say, William and Mary, they obviously did very well to get the win in the first week, but they really need to get a quick succession of wins, bouncing back to back. See if they can get themselves a little win streak going. You don't want to go win-loss. It almost puts you in a little bit of a weird position in terms of form and in terms of momentum. You definitely don't want it.
Yeah, it's a tough one as well. With there only being 5 teams in the league this season, it's going to be a lot more important. Those teams that you're battling away with, week in, week out, that are going to be kind of in and around you in the division. There might be some teams that break away at the top. There might be a team that falls away at the bottom. However, it's those kind of crucial matchups, whether it's a mid-table clash or it's first v second, those ones are going to make a massive difference this season. Obviously, as you're not going to get too many other games outside of those as well.
There are definitely going to be a lot of repeat matches this season. We will have to.
It's a bit like the Scottish League, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't actually watch the Scottish League, so would you?
They play each other, I think it's either 3 or 4 times each in a season, because there's only about 12 teams. So instead of like in the Premier League, for example, and most top tier leagues, they only play each other twice, one home, one away. In the Scottish League, I think it's 3 times, 2 at home, 1 away or something. However they seed it, I don't know.
Alaba gives away a corner. Lewandowski, Pedri now on the edge of the box. Goes for that Travella, but unfortunately not going to be hitting the target there for Howard. Looking to go 2 goals up. William and Mary looking to stabilise, get their footing here in this game, which is understandable. You know, it's first game of the day, 20 minutes in, only a goal down. It's nothing too, you know, there's not really, shouldn't be hitting the panic button quite yet.
No, it's definitely not panic stations, and we know for anyone that's watched EGF in the past, we do know that it is best of 2. So you do have that second leg. Sometimes it's a different player, sometimes it's the same player, depending on who's available for the rosters. We like to try and have players using different opponents each game to spice it up a little bit. So, you know, all is not lost if you do lose the first leg. You can still pull it back in. We've seen multiple comebacks in second legs in previous seasons, and that's a beautiful goal there from Valverde. Has it given, or he's offside actually? Offside. So I didn't see the player offside there. I just saw the ball flying into the goal.
No, it was a great finish though. It was, to be honest, just to step back and use that finesse into the top corner. William and Mary now know what works in those kind of situations. Even if he was offside, you can still, you know, take the pros and the cons out of the situation. The con was try and get onside a little bit more often. The pros were you can definitely finish it. Lewandowski with a chance, turning inside and out. Lovely bit of skill from the Polish striker, but cannot find the back of the net. Good block by Eder Militao as it goes behind for another corner.
Yeah, I know you mentioned pace earlier in the attacking sense, but actually Real Madrid have got pace as well in the defensive third. So not an easy team to break down, and that's a shot off the post there from Dembele. Again, that R1 dribbling coming in, so powerful at the moment. I expect to see that nerfed very soon if I was EA.
Yeah, I mean, I expect to see it nerfed in the next patch quite heavily, because there is no way that they could have they would be happy with the state of the gameplay right now. I'm sure Lewandowski with a chance though, and there was no R1 dribbling there. Just a clean, precise finish from that player. A massive goal, putting Howard 2 goals ahead, which could really be a worrying sign for William and Mary as we approach the halfway line.
Yeah, even though it was, you know, even though it is, sorry, a best of 2, being 2-0 down in the first half, or effectively the first quarter of the 2 legs, it is already a bit of a mountain to climb. However, we've seen William and Mary score. Yes, it was offside, but you know they're veterans of the league. They've been here. They've done it all before. So I'm sure there won't be too many panic buttons being pushed at the moment. But they are going to need to try and find their way back into this one quite soon.
Camavinga gets the play on from the referee. A free kick there if they want to take the advantage, but they choose to play on. Vinny Jr., nice little touch inside. Koundé, risky slide and tackle in that position, but gets the ball, and that will be the half-time whistle being blown at Howard University. The Bisons 2 goals ahead against William Mary, the Tribe. And in honest truth, William and Mary really haven't had much in the attack and third. You can see they're just 1 shot to Howard's 6. What do we need to see William and Mary do a little bit more of? Because right now, as you can see, a lot of the players in the attack and third, they're not really getting used. Rodrigo, we haven't seen too much of. Vinicius Jr., we haven't seen too much of. Even Bellingham, they're just not getting the ball around. Should we maybe see a formation change?
Yeah, it's tough because, again, like I said at the start, it's a new game, so everyone's still kind of trying to find their best formation. They're trying to, even some of the pros are trying to work out, you know, their best formation, what the best tactics are. So I think there's still a lot of experimentation going on at the moment, but yeah, maybe the narrow formation not quite working. I would say that quite often getting down the byline, you know, little cutbacks, as much as we hate to see it in, you know, in weekend league gameplay, in regular gameplay, whatever, you know, it is a very effective way of creating opportunities to score goals. Maybe that's what we need to see from them.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. You know, a lot of people say this, pro players, there's a reason why they stick to the meta. It's because the best chance of winning, and we'll have to see if William and Mary can play into that meta a little bit more here as they're moving the ball forward. Bellingham back to Rodrigo. You can see the tightness of this Barcelona defence. There's 0 width, absolutely 0. Very, very tight, constricted in the midfield, hard to move the ball around, and that's just going to bring more interceptions and Howard getting the ball back once again.
Yeah, doing really, really well with this Barcelona side. Now, Barcelona not always a first pick for myself for sure, but they have got a pretty solid squad this year. You've got Araujo, Koundé at the back, Balde at left back, I believe. He's pretty quick. I think they've got Christensen in there. He might be the starting centre back. I've actually looked. The Barcelona defence have been pretty untroubled in this one for Howard University,
Yes.
and it is Christensen. It's a great ball through. Rodrigo slots it through to Bellingham, and there he is from that central attacking midfield position, popping up with a lovely goal there. Really well worked.
Well, that's exactly what you want to see if you are a fan of Real Madrid or a fan of William and Mary. A goal from the wonder child, Jude Bellingham, the Englishman, popping off in real life and coming up massive here in this game, bringing it just within one goal. William and Mary, can they make the comeback happen? Vinny Jr. flicking it over the top towards Rodrigo. Camavinga looks for Rodrigo again, but Araujo defending very well for his side. And yeah, Christensen's not actually that bad. He's 83 rated this year. He's got decent pace. He's very tall. Got a good physical, good defendant.
Yeah, like I said, they've got
Nothing
a good
special.
defence, and I think it's the same. It's the same with Real Madrid though as well. I know you mentioned at the start, they've got that pace up front, but the Real Madrid defence is like Alaba, Mendy, Militao, Rudiger. I'm pretty certain like the slowest player out of that is Alaba, who's like I think he's about 78 or 79 pace, which is still pretty quick. He's awkward to use because he's a left back, but Militao and Rudiger together are both super strong and super quick. So it's a tough defence to break down. So scoring at all against Real Madrid is an achievement in itself on FIFA.
Dembele coming through on this left-hand side, looking to maybe feed it to Lewandowski. He gets it there, and there's the finish. Simple as that. You get the ball to Lewandowski in the box. He apologises, but that was a clean goal, clean finish. And that will be Howard's lead increased back to 2. Reinstated, you could say, to 2 goals. 3-1 now. And the pauses will finally come out, as you can see. The Alaba's pretty exhausted. Maybe going to bring on some substitutions there. But honestly, you've got all your best players on the field already. That's the only problem with Real Madrid at the moment.
Yeah, there's not an awful lot of depth there, is there? But yeah, maybe something's got to change. Maybe a little change in tactics. Just see if they can get the team maybe a little bit further up the field. Not sure if we're going to see anyone try the kind of thing that's going around at the moment with 71 depth. It kind of auto triggers that attacking press when you're defending. Your team really presses the ball quite well. However, it can leave you vulnerable if your opponent, hits you on a quick counter. You can be in big trouble. But something to maybe consider for Real Madrid and William and Mary.
I did not know that. I haven't even seen that before. This is the first time I'm hearing of it, but
tips and tricks I can give you.
Yeah, thank you, Matt. Definitely, that's it's one of them TikTok tips and tricks trends that we see all the time. Bellingham in the box, trying to find an option. Modric back to Bellingham, looking for Vinicius Jr., but intercepted by Pedri. And yeah, this Barcelona side, I mean, obviously it's all about the player utilising the players, but looking very strong here. Lewandowski, Rudiger with the challenge, gives it back to Lewandowski. Could find Dembele there, but chooses to go back. Gavi through on goal. Is there a chance for a fourth? Rudiger just about gets in the way, and they can finally clear the ball away, Real Madrid.
Yeah, I mean, the Barca squad very good at passing, very good at dribbling, so they probably actually fit this FC24 quite well. Yeah, difficult to see a way through at the moment for William and Mary. They've got one, they can keep it, 2 goals. Maybe in the second fixture they can look to start again and try and sort of improve on it, I guess. But you've always got to just stay within touching distance, because there's always a chance. I mean, we've seen comebacks from 3 or 4 goals down. I don't know what the biggest comeback we've ever seen is, but there's always a chance with FIFA and EAFC.
That is a question. The biggest comeback we've ever seen. We've seen some crazy ones, that's for sure. I'm pretty sure we've seen a 5-goal deficit to come back and win like 6-5 or something like that, or 7-6. Rodrigo pulls it back to Vinicius Jr. with a shot to Stegen, standing strong, and maybe you'd like to see Vinicius Jr. take another touch there and look to finish it off nice and easily with a finesse around the goalkeeper, but there's still a chance from the corner. Koundé, though, defending very well.
Yeah, he's a solid defender, and I think he's also got that playstyle plus jockey, so he can strafe left to right so quickly. He covers a lot of ground. Not an easy player to get past. He can also play right back as well. So he's a player that's very more like utility play. You know, he's not just stuck at centre back. And there are some interesting position changes out there for players. We've got a few players that are like centre backs, left backs that can also play at striker. So none that are going to be used today, I can't imagine. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Keep an eye out for.
Stephen Corker used to do that when Jurgen Klopp first took over Liverpool. He used to come on. That was how drained the squad was. He'd bring him on as a super sub at striker, and I don't think he ever scored, which is probably about right. Rafinha through on goal, one-on-one with the keeper, switches it to his left, and there is the finish. As simple as that. That is a 3-goal advantage now for Howard. And William and Mary, well, they've got a uphill battle now if they want to get back in this match.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy from here. 3 goals down. It's a bit of a gulf now in. But you have to say, credit to Howard University. They've played really well here. They've kind of started strongly. Haven't really given away too many opportunities. And I mentioned at the start how awkward this game can be defensively to keep players out. But they really haven't given away many chances in this game. And thoroughly deserving of their 4-1 lead. There might be a card here. Could be. It is a yellow. It's a good chance for a free kick. Do we have any set-piece specialists in the Real Madrid squad?
I think so. I'm going to put Alaba on it, and the goalkeeper movement's going to come out just a little bit. Going to go for the cross. Interesting. Maybe going to go for... I'm not too sure what the decision is here. Going to play it to Valverde on the edge of the box. A little bit of skill. Plays it to Rodrigo. Maybe looking to cut it back. Valverde, great shooting opportunity, but Stegen with a massive save and goes behind for a corner. Yeah, not a routine free kick, but definitely something out of the playbook. Modric, long shot, power shot, straight into the wall of Navy bodies, and that'll be the full-time whistle here in the first game. Howard 4, William and Mary 1. Not the greatest starts for William and Mary, but Howard coming out of the gates exploding.
Yeah, Howard looking really, really good. And like I say, haven't really given up many chances. So, you know, they've got to feel pretty positive going into the second game. Yeah, 3-goal advantage. It's going to be difficult to throw that away. It's going to be a tough game for William and Mary to try and pull that back. But again, we've seen much bigger comebacks happen. So will we see another historical comeback? I don't know. It's going to be tough, but, you know, never say never.
Never say never. William and Mary are definitely a team that can do just that. They're definitely a team that can pop off and come up in these big situations. Is your camera frozen, Matt? I think it might have done.
Yes, it looks like it has done. I'm very
You're
focused.
looking very focused.
Very serious watching that game. Oh, I'll have to have a look at that and as to why that's frozen. But
no worries, mate. Yeah. But we're going to throw it to a quick break while we do fix Matt's camera and we get prepared for the second leg. But go grab yourselves a drink. We'll be back in just a few moments' time. See you soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to EGFC Season 5, Week 2. It's Howard University versus William and Mary. Can they make this comeback happen? It is going to be Real Madrid versus Real Madrid. George and Matt on the mics as usual, ready to bring you this second leg. Can we see William and Mary make somewhat of a comeback happen? They need to get an early goal if they want it.
Yeah, it's going to need to be at least an early goal, isn't it, really? You know, they need 3 just to tie it all up. And there's an early chance there. It's a good save, actually. And it's going to be interesting because I imagine they'll probably line up very similarly in terms of the lineups and formations. Can't imagine there'll be too many crazy changes, but we shall see.
2 early chances, though, for William and Mary, which is definitely big. We'll have to see if they can capitalise on the pressure and find themselves that early goal that we was talking about.
Yeah, they're going to need it. Let's be honest. You know, they need to get that kind of energy and motivation into their game because it's tough when you're behind. You know, it can be demoralising. And I think one more goal would be completely game over. You know, to then score 4 in one game would be quite tough. I know that this game is tough to defend on, like I've said a couple of times, but you know, you've got to say Howard University looked really solid defensively in the opening fixture.
Yeah, absolutely, they did. Keeping that defence tight, not really allowing much pressure to come through, not allowing William and Mary to get much of the ball, but we'll have to see if William and Mary can turn this game on its head here. Howard University, though, coming forward with the ball. Valverde, Alaba puts in a good tackle as William and Mary look to go on the counter with Camavinga playing it out wide to Ferland-Mendy. Plenty of players in the middle if he can find them, and Valverde on the other side of things with a good interception.
Yeah, I find it interesting that Mendy, for one of the sides, I think for William and Mary, they've got him playing at right back, whereas Howard have got him playing at left back. So it's kind of Mendy versus Mendy down this side, which is an interesting matchup, obviously.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe it was to do with Barcelona and Dembele, the pace from Dembele, but Dembele plays on the right, so that would... No, they're playing Mendy at right back, so that wouldn't even match up correctly.
Yeah, just playing Alaba at left back. So.
Yeah, no clue at all. No clue at all why, but if it works for them, then it works for me. Vincinius Jr. down this left-hand side, looking to try and find a way into the middle, trying to find some friends. That is a dangerous tackle. Referee says no harm doing, but there will be an injury on Vinny, and in online friendlies, I do believe that injuries stick, so that might be a problem.
Yeah, I think they get a slight decrease in stats, if I remember rightly. It's never been proven, though, I don't think. They don't sort of actively change, but I'm sure EA said that they do get like a negative effect on some of their stats. So it'd be interesting to see as Bellingham strolls through, beautifully taken on the chest, lovely volley home, and that could be all she wrote for today.
You know, everybody moans about Bellingham not having that many in-game stats, but he plays absolutely incredibly in-game for everybody that I've known that has used him, and he's played very well in this series here. I don't know whether it's like shadow stats or like hidden stats going on, but seems to be doing well.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that when you look at the card, like, for example, with Ultimate Team, if you look at the card on face value, a lot of the stats aren't actually that high. You know, he's like an 86 rated card, but some of his stats are like, you know, low 80s and kind of high 70s, which is kind of interesting. They almost don't reflect him as an 87, but yeah, he sort of plays out of his skin, really, and he's got that relentless plus play style, which basically means he never runs out of energy, so he just runs and runs and runs, and you never need to sub him either.
William and Mary were trying to cut it back there, didn't quite work, but you know, someone like Goretzka had more total in-game stats than Bellingham did. And same with Llorente as well. Eder Militao, not really the person you want to be whipping the ball in. Courtois comes out majestically, punches it away, as William and Mary look to go on the counter. Vinicius Jr. just in front of Rodrigo, can't quite find him. And once again, the ball is with Howard University. Still just the 1-goal lead for Howard, as that is a 5-1 lead in total. 4-goal advantage for them, which is, I'll be honest, a 4-goal advantage with this long left in the game. Does that kill the tie-off? For me, makes them pretty comfortable. But if William and Mary get a goal back before the half-time whistle, you never know.
Yeah, they're going to need to kind of go all-out attack here, aren't they, William and Mary?
Chance.
They might get a chance. Oh, just a bit too quick to take the shot. Maybe needed to settle a little more there, but maybe even just try. Well, there is a team press coming in, so whether they're going to start to try that and really go for it, they may as well, because I highly doubt goal difference will come into things by the end of the season. But it's one of those, like you say, they need to score before half time really to kind of give themselves any hope, because 4 goals in one half is definitely no mean feat.
Yeah, definitely not. Alaba, Rudiger now on the ball for Howard, who are I get the feeling they're kind of just trying to take the wind out of William and Mary's sails here in this match. In this point, they're just trying to hold on to the ball, make sure they're not able to attack them with any kind of pace, any kind of power. Bellingham though, and now Vinny Jr. giving it to Rodrigo. Alaba with the interception, and just switching the ball, making sure there's not too much pressure on this side. Cruz now playing the ball through to Vinny. Rudiger with a tackle once again, and as we approach the half-time whistle, it's difficult, isn't it? Howard are clearly a very good defensive side. They look very comfortable, very sound on the back foot.
Yeah, they look good going forward as well, creating chances, scoring goals. But I think the key to this FC24, I think the key is going to be, how do you defend? How do you stop your opponents scoring? Because we know it's a lot more manual than it has been previous years. So, they could be a force to be reckoned with if they can just stop their opponents scoring. That's already half the battle then. Then they've just got to go out and find a goal in each game, and they'll be running out victorious and potentially run away with the league eventually. But, we're getting ahead of ourselves there. But they're looking good so far, especially in, the first game and a half we've seen so far this evening.
So I was playing the game earlier, and the invisible player glitch?
I do.
It can happen with the people in the stadium as well. There's a guy in the tunnel that holds a clipboard, and he was invisible, and there was just a man walking around with a clipboard. It also happened with a guy holding a camera, so it was just a floating camera floating through the tunnel.
Nice.
I wonder when that'll be patched, because I think, it's probably one of the funnier glitches, but when it actually happens, when your players are on the field, it's a little bit frustrating. But enough of the chit-chat. We're into the second half, where William and Mary, they need a miracle, and they need it now. Vinicius Jr., can he find one of his teammates? No, the pass is just a little bit weak, not really got enough pace on it, not really got the direction.
Yeah, I think one of the other funnier glitches that I remember from was when we had that one where the wall ended up in the goal about 30 yards from it, and I remember both of us being in tears. So there's a few different things over the years that have popped up, and hopefully they'll iron them all out eventually.
That was a funny one. It was. We've seen some weird ones happen in this tournament, to be fair. I think we had... There was one where the... Oh, no. I think there was one where it was something to do with a free kick, and maybe it was the goalkeeper was in the middle of the net or something like that and couldn't get out. Either way. Camavinga. Valverde. Back to Rodrigo. Camavinga now. And I'm not too sure what happened there, but maybe just a slip of the RB button. The ball went through the player's legs. And you've got to feel like William and Mary just need to throw absolutely everything forward. Go 4-2-4, constant pressure.
Yeah, it's kind of that time, isn't it? They probably should have just gone for it for the whole game, but it's tough because the more you go for it and the more you chase a game, the more you leave yourself open at the back. But yeah, good to see, still trying, still getting chances, which is good. We've played better in this second game because it is a lot closer. Are we going to see them? I think they're changing to. They're changing to alternate control. So whether that's had something to do with their gameplay, I don't know. But that's not a good time to realise. 57 minutes into the second leg, but hopefully we might see them play. We might see them play really well now. You never know.
Oh wow! I mean, Fair enough. We'll see if it makes any kind of difference. Rodrigo, Tucci with the interception. And now Eder Militao playing it right back here. Rodrigo. Now Bellingham. A good run through from Vinicius Jr. if he can find him. Does indeed, but no room to run into. Alaba defending well. Eder Militao takes the ball away as William & Mary can look to counter-attack.
Yeah, looking all right since the change of controls. Playing a bit better defensively, but I don't know if it's going to make the world of difference. But yeah, tough to see. But the second game, William and Mary have looked a lot better. They've created a few more chances. Haven't really given up too many chances, to be fair. I'd be interested to compare the shots on target from the first game to the second game, because I really don't feel like Howard University have had that many chances. Bellingham at the other end, I just couldn't get enough power in it to slot it home. Really big opportunity there. Just needed a bit more shot power. Maybe try and finesse it into that far corner. But yeah, close. And we know Courtois is a great keeper on this game, and he makes the save just there.
It looked like he was finessing it. He opened his body up and hit it with the inside of his boot. Not too sure whether it was because when the ball bobbles up a bit weird, players just kind of swing their foot at it, but they don't really. They hit it with the inside of the boot, and it doesn't get any power. Finishing's weird this year, man. Bellingham, though, twist and turn and finds Valverde. Valverde, oh, nice little fake shot. I know, that's a lovely finish coming out from Valverde, as that is a 2-goal advantage now for Howard, who move on to a 5-goal lead now on aggregate. I'm pretty sure that makes it 6-1.
Yeah, 6-1 on aggregate. It's not going to look too pretty, is it, for William and Mary? They get another chance there, but Courtois made 2 saves in this game. You know, if they'd taken both those big chances, you know, we could be looking at a different scoreline here in the second leg. But unfortunately, it's not to be this evening for William and Mary, and it looks as though Howard University are going to be running away with all the points this evening.
Yeah, it does indeed, as the clock ticks down and we watch the final few knock-ins of this game. There are a lot of takeaways here for William and Mary. Unfortunately, we did not get to see the Tribe play as well as they did last week. They obviously played out of their skin last week, played absolutely incredibly, but could not replicate that form here today against Howard. But it is a long season. There is plenty of time for them to get their form. They've got new players. They've got Seth back as a coach this year, so we'll have to see what he can whip up for the Tribe. But Howard, we'll have to see what they've got to conjure up this season, because they could be one of the ones to watch.
Yeah, there's plenty of games, you know, and these guys will meet and play again later on in the season as well. So, you know, it's not like this is the be-all and end-all, but you've got to even take notes, you know, actually get out a notepad and make notes on your opponents, you know, who plays well with what teams are they using, what formations are they playing, how do they play, you know, are they using the R1 dribbling, are they doing lots of skills, are they playing passing, long balls, through balls, whatever. Like, you know, if you can kind of get a bit of knowledge on your opponents, it can serve you well for later on in the season.
Couldn't agree with you more, Matt. Make sure you study up, you watch your tapes, stuff like that. I know there's not a crazy amount of footage on some of the newer teams, but there's plenty on teams like William and Mary. Even though it is a brand new game, you can still kind of judge what, you know, habits players have and things like that. I'm a little bit of a slide tackler. Get a few red cards here and there.
You do love a good red card.
I do. I had one in pro clubs earlier. It wasn't my proudest moment, but I was big man's. Bellingham, as the clock ticks down, 88 minutes being played. We'll probably have a few added on for added time, but there might be one more chance for William and Mary to get a goal back. Rudiger clears it away, falls to Bellingham. Courtois with another massive save. Courtois has been brilliant for Howard, to be fair.
Yeah, 3 pretty big saves, to be fair, in the game. So, you know, it could have been a totally different story had they taken those chances. But yeah, it will be 6 goals to 1 on aggregate. Howard University taking all the spoils this evening. Commiserations to William and Mary. You know, it's a tough fixture this evening, but, you know, kept on going, kept on creating chances as well, which is another thing. So, you know, it's not a case of they were absolutely demolished. I know the scoreline maybe suggests that they were quite comprehensively beaten. However, they did create a lot of chances. And like you said, Courtois had a bit of a blinder in that second leg there. Could have been a different story if all 3 had gone in, but, you know, you're not always going to score every shot that you take.
You are not. You are not indeed. But, William and Mary, there are a lot of takeaways, defensively. Definitely, getting in the box, it's difficult because when you've got an opponent that's really good at defending, twisting and turning, trying to find a way around your opponent, it's always going to be hard. But you've got to have that decisive pass. You've got to know exactly what you want to do, and cutting down the wing and getting that ball in the middle definitely seems like a good game plan. But we still have one more game coming up for you tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be Montana State University versus University of Connecticut. So do not go anywhere. We'll be back in a few moments' time with the final game of the evening. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to EGFC Season 5. We're here for the second game of the day. It is Montana State University versus University of Connecticut. The Bobcats versus the Huskies. I have seen a Husky before, but I cannot say what a Bobcat looks like. Don't know about you, Matt.
That's one way to introduce us to the next segment of the game. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. You mentioned this, that in the Discord they've actually agreed to go with so-called fun teams.
Yes.
So we're going to see a bit of a mixture from the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona and Man City, Liverpool, those kind of teams. And we're seeing one of the Saudi teams being used here. Is it Al Ittihad with
Al
Neymar?
Hilal.
Al Hilal.
Yeah.
I can never remember who's gone where because there's so many players that have moved to the Saudi League now. We've kind of lost track who's gone where.
Yeah, but this is looking like a very good team, to be fair. You got Neymar up top, you got Malcolm in there as well, Milinkovic Savic, you got Neves. They turned their attributes on, which is fine, We'll let it slide, considering they're doing a fun game with their fun teams. Dawsari is also a very good player. I'm pretty sure he's got like 93 pace or something like that on his card.
He's also a 5-star skiller. I
Oh,
remember
is
I
he?
actually looked at him earlier on Ultimate Team to buy because he's an inform. So I was looking to invest my coins in players, and yeah, he popped up, and he's actually a 5-star skiller. At least the Team of the Week version is. Whether his base card is, I don't know, but yeah, it looks like a fun team. Al Hilal versus Benfica. So yeah, not a matchup we're probably ever going to see, maybe in real life, but yeah, we're very unlikely to see that on EAFC as well during the EGF season.
I mean, I'd love to see more teams being used, and like Al Hilal and like Al Ettifaq and stuff like that. But probably not going to happen all too often. But let's get into the game. Let's see what everybody's gonna do at the start of the game, because it's always interesting to see how the start of the game plays out, what each guy's tactics are going to be like. And we're seeing a switch of play immediately to try and thwart that pressure coming out, which is very smart. We've got the names of the players above the head, so that makes it much easier for us.
Yeah, because I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be too sure who is playing for who, really, in terms of all the Al Hilal players. That here his name, although unmistakable. I don't know how good he'll be on the game. That R1 dribbling obviously will come in handy. The 5-star, 5-star. So he's going to be tough to tackle. Could we see a few penalties won in this game as well, especially with those skillful players up top.
Definitely have to see Malcolm to Neymar. 5-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves. And that is going to be the first goal of the game, going the way of Al Hilal. And we were saying fun teams, you know, but this really isn't that much of a fair matchup if you look at it on paper, with Neymar being 91 rated. You've got Koulibaly 85, you've got Milinkovic-Savic. There's a shot coming out, Bono with a big save. Bunu also a very good goalkeeper, a surprising name that I saw because he is quite young.
Yeah, 85 rated as well. So, you know, he's a very solid goalkeeper, moved from the Spanish league. I think it was Sevilla that he was playing for last year, had a good season. Got a +1 on his overall this year. So, yeah, interesting move. Again, another one of those players that's just gone over to the Saudi league. And, yeah, it's difficult because, you know, a lot of them have moved out there because the money that they're being offered is absolutely crazy. So I know they get paid crazy money anyway, but, you know, if someone said to you, oh, I'm going to multiply your wages by 10 if you come and join us, most people would say yes in pretty much every job in the world ever, I would imagine.
Multi-generational wealth, I think, is the how a lot of people told me when it was first come about Saudi clubs bringing people over. You got to think about it, the fact that you can earn multiple generations, they'll all be billionaires. How great would that be for you to do that for your children? Who knows? Maybe some people don't want it, but sure sounds nice to me. Rafa, though, for Benfica, Koku, I don't even know how to pronounce his name. I'll be real. I'm sure that Faneka would be able to tell me because Benfica is his favourite team. That is the reason why he has picked them.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure he picked them last week as well in his matchup. So, you know, staying true to his roots, which is great. Love to see. Wouldn't catch me using Reading because they're absolutely abysmal. But yeah, I'm sure maybe you'd probably go for Liverpool, wouldn't you? So.
I mean, I probably wouldn't be able to go for Liverpool in this kind of a game if we're talking about fun teams, because they've got a lot of high-rated players, or they usually have a lot of high-rated players like Salah, VVD, Alisson. But there's a chance here, Malcolm. It's back to Salim. Malcolm again, Vinny Jr. goes to the shot. Trubin with a great save.
Jr., not Vinny Jr.
Oh, Neymar Jr., my bad. There's a rebound shot coming out, and Michael with the finish. No second name, just Michael.
Michael!
I knew you was going to say that. Montana with the 2-goal advantage 25 minutes into this game. And this is unfortunately what happens when you pick Benfica, Faneka. They are, you know, I'm sure they're a great team in real life, but...
Yeah, it's a tough one because, like you said, although these are kind of fun teams, actually on paper the Al Hilal team is very, very solid, which kind of almost makes it not a matchup. But yeah, they were happy to do it, so they agreed.
They did agree indeed. They agreed to play this match, but who would I pick? You know, I'd like to say that, you know, because Norwich City are as close to home as it gets. But Norwich City are just awful. Hey, you know what? If we're doing fun teams, you pick Red and I'll pick Norwich. There you go.
I still think I'd probably be out-teamed. That would be the problem.
Red aren't that bad, mate. Come on. Neymar to Salim. Chance for Al-Dawsari with the finish. And that'll be a 3-goal advantage for Montana. And you've got to start thinking, right, this is going to start getting a little bit crazy. We've had a goal every 10 minutes. Is it going to be a 9-0 game? Oof, hopefully not.
Yeah, it's a tough one. And I think, like you said, you know, although they are kind of picking fun teams, they're still quite mismatched. So, yeah, maybe a reverse fixture. We might see, there's a ball whipped in from the corner and it's almost actually gone in and it's gone all the way through and just headed behind at the back post there. And yeah, first real chance for UConn, but it's definitely one-way traffic at the moment.
Yeah, it definitely is. Unfortunately, there is a chance, though. Di Maria wins the ball back, and yeah, unfortunately, going to lose out there off the pass. Milinkovic-Savic now to Al-Dawsari. Malcolm. Salim once again. Salim. Michael. Neymar to Malcolm again. Neymar in the box, maybe going to produce some skills. It's so simple. Just a roulette. It floats past 2 defenders, and the finish, well, that is as easy as it gets for Neymar Jr. 40 minutes gone, and we have had 4 goals. A goal every 10 minutes still stands. UConn, this is not looking good for you right now, my friends.
Yeah, not looking good. It's one of those that it could get a little bit on the side of embarrassing if we're not too careful. And yeah, whoever it is controlling the MSU side for Al Halal, playing really well. Obviously, very useful with the skills as well. Plenty of ball rolls, and yeah, it's a really good finish. And Neymar just kind of unstoppable, really.
Yeah, Neymar absolutely unstoppable, and that would be Jelly Pathy, I
Oh,
think it is. And there is a goal for Benfica and for our good friends over at UConn. A fantastic goal. The question is, can they get 3 more back in this game? Because they really need to find a way back into this match now. 3 goals down at the half-time whistle.
that was a great goal, though. Really good cross, really well worked, and still continuing to fight. There's still a long way to go. Got to find a way to stop Neymar. Both goals almost in pretty identical positions there in the top right-hand side of the goal. But yeah, he's someone that's pretty unstoppable at the moment.
I don't like to thread these kind of narratives because, nobody likes to put it down to a player being lackadaisical. But when Faneka suggested the 4 fun teams for game 1, do you think that maybe he was underestimating the Montana team? UConn have been in this tournament for 2 seasons now. Montana, this is their first. Maybe just underestimating them a little bit?
Yeah, potentially. Maybe just kind of looking to go in with a bit more fun and, yeah, hoping that the teams would be a lot more even. But, yeah, maybe it's backfired a little bit for Necker and UConn. But, they're still in the game. They've pulled a goal back, so it's not all lost. But they are going to need at least another goal or 2 just to really give themselves a chance in the second leg.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see the Season 4 runners-up. Not been the greatest of starts to the Season for them, but it's the same for George Washington as well, who did not have a great start last week against William and Mary in their off-stream game. We'll have to see as the newcomers here in EGF are running rampant so far. Howard, obviously, picking up, I think that's 2 wins now in the league. 2 wins back-to-back. Oh no, they lost to UConn last week. So UConn got a win last week, and William and Mary got a win last week, but Howard won this week, and it's looking like Montana might win this week, but we'll have to see. It's still a long, long way to go here in this match. Koku to Di Maria, cutting inside with that fake shot. Turning back to Koku, who is being pressed with that double tap R1 team press, and Bonu will come out to catch that cross. Are you a fan of the double tap R1 press mechanic?
It's all right. It's one of those that it doesn't last that long, so it's not really that effective over a kind of short period of time. It kind of runs out quite quickly, and you drain that kind of ability, which is good. That it's not too overpowered, and there's a power shot coming in there from Koku, and that goes flying wide. And yeah, it is an interesting one, but I think the less AI involvement, the better. So it becomes more kind of player versus player. But there's that fine balance of your players can't stand around doing nothing, but they also can't be too aggressive and interactive with pressing the ball.
Neymar, Elastico, double Elastico, tries to poke it in, and a great save by Trubin, cleared away by Ba. And now Rafa coming down the right-hand side. Very pacey this year. I think he's got 93 or 94 pace. Neymar, Otamendi trying to get stuck in, trying to put a tackle in. Neymar with a shot just wide and high of the post.
Yeah, it's kind of, if you can stop Neymar, you're kind of limiting the chances that MSU are going to have. But yeah, trying to stop Neymar at the moment is pretty difficult because you've got R1 dribbling, you've got 5-star skills, obviously 5-star weak foot, so you can shoot with either foot. Yeah, he's a tough one to stop.
Yeah, definitely a very good player, regardless of his league. I still think players are picking him up. Obviously being Brazilian, not too hard to link in on Ultimate Team, but I think that definitely one of them players that everybody wants to have in their team. Rafa pasting it down the wing, clipped inside to Di Maria on the right foot, not his strong foot, and he doesn't have a very good weak foot, so not a lot of power in that shot, but Still another chance for UConn as they look to get back in this match, as they're getting a few more chances here and there now. Maybe starting to feel a little bit more involved in this match.
Yeah, kind of utilising the wings as well, which is kind of an interesting tactic. I mentioned earlier that it's pretty solid. If you can
Chance.
get those cutbacks, there is a bit of a deflection. Rafa's there to mop it up, and it's 4-2 now. So, getting back into the tie slowly but surely. Look at those ratings, though. There's, what, 2 players that are maybe not that great. Well, 3, maybe 4 maximum. You got that are below 80, but, the rest of the team, mid to high 80s. You've obviously got Neymar in there as well. It's a pretty strong lineup. I don't know there's too much on the bench that they could really do.
No, you've got Mitrovic. You could move Neymar out wide, and use Mitrovic as an aerial threat. But really, I mean, you're a goal down. If you're a goal down with this squad, you need to bring on an impact sub. Get the ball down the wing for Neymar, whip it in. It's not the worst of ideas, but we'll have to see if Mitrov is utilised here in this match. Alda Sawari, Neymar, scoop turn cancel, and just rigging around in the midfield area, trying to find an avenue to go down. Malcolm to Neymar as the play speeds up, and a good interception from the Benfica side, UConn. 15 minutes left in this one, just a 2-goal deficit. If they can bring it back to a 1-goal deficit, I'd say they've done a great job.
Yeah, from 4-0 down to pull it back to 4-2 anyway is a pretty good start. Like I said, if they can get another one, they can really, really make it interesting for the second leg. But, 2-goal deficit's not the end of the world. That was maybe a little pass there forward to the striker, but couldn't find it. And, second half, UConn have looked a lot more balanced, actually. They haven't given away too many chances, been defending pretty well. I'm probably going to curse it now, but they have had a pretty good half. But yeah, conceding 4 goals early on was always going to be tough to fight their way back from.
Very true. As not too sure which way Neymar thinks he's going, but he's going whatever way the wind takes him. Saud to Salem, who has got a little bit of space, to Malcolm now, who dribbles past one defender, and it forces not a save, it forces an acrobatical dive from the goalkeeper. Maybe worried that it was going to sneak into that top bin, but not in the end.
Back up the other end now with Rafa. I think Rafa seems to be the sort of strong point and the focal point at the moment for Faneka, but just trying to wriggle through, and Sharani does well enough. I think Sharani's the left back that's got a lot of pace. So although you've got Rafa who's quick, I think Sharani is also equally as quick. And the ball played in behind this time to Rafa. Can he find the cutback? He can. Guedes' shot is blocked. It's going to find its way back to Guedes, but they're going to win a corner with just 3 minutes to go.
Yeah, Osamendi going to be in the box. Not the tallest of defenders, but they'll probably whip it in there nonetheless. Koulibaly going to protect that front post, as you would expect, being probably the tallest defender in the team, I would have assumed. Di Maria whipped in, front post. Bonu has to clear, and Goku wins the ball back. There is still a chance brewing here for UConn. Bar looks to turn, but Koulibaly with a big tackle takes the ball away, and now Al Hilal can look to see this game out with a 2-goal lead. Montana definitely deserved that 2-goal lead, but you can't take anything away from the fact that UConn did really, really well to get themselves back in this game.
Yeah, there might be one final chance here. Need to try and defend this if you can. Might open up. The keeper makes a good save there. Trubin, comes up well there, actually. 4 goals to 2. Pretty fair result, I'd say. Montana looked great to start with. Went 4-0 up. UConn going with that Benfica side for a bit of fun. Managed to pull 2 goals back. So good to see them still in the game. But yeah, the second leg's going to be interesting. Only a 2-goal advantage now for Jelly Parthy. But we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, which teams they're going to pick in the second leg, because it could be a bit of a different tale now. We've got the competitive second fixture coming up.
Yeah, we do indeed. We've got both teams picking whoever they want to. Whoever they want to. They can pick any team, whether it's Real Madrid, PSG. We'll have to see. We're going to throw it to the final break of the evening before we get into the second leg of action between Montana and Connecticut. So go grab yourselves a drink. We'll be back very, very soon. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the fourth and final game of the evening and the second leg between Montana and University of Connecticut. Let's see who is going to take this one home. Montana with a 2-goal advantage currently, and UConn looking to make that comeback happen. They were 4 goals down. Question is, can they make a 4-goal comeback? That would definitely be a good viewing. But it is going to be UConn playing as Real Madrid and Montana playing as Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe to Barcola, who is, I think, 73 rated currently being used here.
Yeah, a bit of an odd choice, really. You've got the likes of Kolo Muani, Mbappe, and Ousmane Dembele for PSG, so you'd think that would be the front three, however you want to play them. But yeah, they've gone for some more serious teams this time round, though. Al Hilal versus Benfica. It's a Champions League star-studded affair with PSG against Real Madrid, and already you can see the PSG lineup really looking to make it count early on, and there you go. Barcola with the goal. Just a few minutes into the game, and just like that, it's back to a 3-goal lead for MSU.
Yeah, back to a 3-goal lead, and that player that we were talking about being 73 rated coming up and getting the goal for his team. Surprising, maybe, but doing a good job there. Massive goal. Montana now have that 3-goal advantage, which, 2 goals is a good advantage, but it's not really good enough. 3 goals, pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it's a comfortable lead to have now, and kind of just reopening it really, because anything can happen. We saw that Feneka battled away, was 4-0 down at one stage in the first leg, pulled it back to 4-2. So we thought maybe there's a little bit of momentum to carry over into the second leg. MSU have quashed that straight away, so killing that momentum early on. May find a second, but they do well enough there. Feneka now needs to bring it forward and needs to make things happen.
Yeah, 100%. We'll have to see if they can do that. Valverde, Utgard with the interception, and Barcola shifting the ball forward to Kylian Mbappe with the fake shot. Goes past one defender. How is he managing to outmuscle Edin Militao there? I have no idea.
Yeah, playstyle pluses are definitely a big thing this year, and sometimes you'll see them pop up over the players' heads when they have them. It's something that's pretty overpowered, and I think they'll probably be tweaked at some point. But yeah, definitely very useful early on into this game cycle.
Yeah, we see a lot of it in the pro club scene. How playstyle pluses can kind of be abused, really, and exploited, I guess you could say, with strikers that are making themselves 6'7" and using the aerial trait, and you literally. It doesn't matter what defender you are never winning a header past this guy. It is crazy. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see when we start getting cards with 2 playstyle pluses instead of just the 1, because obviously that will be coming at some point this year. They've already showed it off. I think it was in the pre what was it, the closed beta or something like that, or one of the tech demos. Chance though for Kolo Muani, Courtois with a big save, Mbappe with the try to go for the header. Alba clears away as Feneka's cued a pause. Not too sure what for, but definitely going to want to change something.
Yeah, potentially just going to start going really attacking. With 30 minutes in, needs to find 3 goals to tie it all up. Yeah, it's not going to be an easy one. 5-2 on aggregate currently. Feneka trails, and at the moment it's just all MSU. PSG is just streaming forward. That's going to be offside, but yeah, it has been all MSU so far. They're looking really, really strong, even with that PSG lineup that is filled with negative rating.
Yeah, I mean, you look at across the board, everybody's pretty much been downgraded. Hakimi an 82, that is crazy. One of the, I'm pretty sure he got, was it team of the year last year or was it the year before?
Who was that? Sorry,
Hakimi.
Hakimi team of the year. I think it was. Was it the year before? Was it last? It may have even been both in a row. I don't know.
Yeah, it was one or the other, but being downgraded to an 82, I find
Yeah.
that crazy. Live form, though, I guess it is what it is. You lose heavily to Newcastle, that's what happens to you. Joslu has been brought on for Real Madrid. Bellingham looking to bundle his way through, but Donnarumma falls kindly to him, comes out to retrieve the ball as Montana can look to counter-attack once again. Utgard, Mbappe. I think that is a lovely ball over the top. Courtois can come out to claim. That is Marco Asensio being brought on for Barcola, I think.
Yeah, interestingly, I mean, he's a solid player. Asensio, formerly of Real Madrid, actually, going to PSG. Didn't gain or lose any ratings, so he's an 83 again this year. Yeah, a solid kind of player. Nothing too special on game because he's not that quick or anything like that. But yeah, getting him a run out against his former club.
Good squad depth, I think, is a good squad player. Marco Asensio, I think, is safe to say.
Yeah, he's a solid player, and I think he's got. I don't know if he's got many traits this year, play styles, but Bellingham rushed through, but fortunately unable to get the shot on target. We can see another pause cued and see some more changes of formations.
Yeah, I wonder what we're going to see happen here because there's only really so much you can change with obviously your formation differences. You're winning a goal, 1-0 change. Is there any need to change anything? There are a lot of questions to be seen. Colin Wiley being moved to that Ram position, right attacking midfielder. The team width and depth both being dropped. Pressure on heavy touch being applied. Not too sure what Montana are seeing that they're not liking, but respect for changing it. And you can see what they're doing here.
Yeah, it's one of those where you're so far ahead. You don't. What's the saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And they don't really need to change anything. They're in a comfortable position, playing well. UConn not really looking like they're getting into this game too much. Just the one chance there, really, with Bellingham that could have done better with. But 5-2 on aggregate. It's a long way to go, really, for Necker in the second half. We've got a few minutes left in the first, but really needs a goal now if anything's kind of going to happen.
Ousmane Dembele on the ball for Montana. Dembele once again. Asensio now looking to turn inside but can't quite do anything. Joslu looking to counter-attack for UConn. They need to get a goal now if they want any chance of getting back in this game. But unfortunately, they just keep throwing away possession. They just keep giving the ball away when they really need to keep a hold of it.
Yeah, possession, it's a difficult one because on FC24, I don't know if possession is like the key or whether it is that kind of direct counter-attack, the ball across. And I do feel like at the moment, the kind of best way to play is just get the ball and kind of try to spring counter-attacks and just get the ball forward as quickly as you can, get down the line, almost look for cutbacks. But yeah, when you're in a position where you're winning, you don't really need to rush anything at all. Move into a 4-2-2 for MSU. And for Feneka now, it's 45 minutes left in game. It's tough. It needs 3 goals, so it's going to be tough to pull it back.
Yeah, definitely is going to be difficult to get back into this one, but we've seen crazier things from University of Connecticut. The question is, it's a new game, a new title, completely new gameplay. It is definitely, it's very, very different to FIFA 23, and especially if you're going from playing on old gen to new gen, it's another big thing. The gameplay is so different. I don't even know if is there a current gen version of FC24?
I believe there is, yes.
Yeah, I don't know who plays it though, because I assume that it is. Well, it can't be any worse than next gen, because this gameplay is interesting. But we are going to get back underway with the second half, and we are going to see who is going to be picking up all the points. We're going to see if there can be a comeback for UConn or whether Montana will be able to hold on to their lead here in this game.
Yeah, and it's going to be one of those that does Feneka just throw him forward. Might be an early chance, and there is a block. And sometimes we do see early chances from kickoff. They sort of still happen. But yeah, it's going to be something that Feneka needs to do. And it needs 3 goals. It's just going to be pretty tough.
Yeah, definitely going to be tough. Not going to be easy for them, really, at all. Switch of play, though, to open up the field. Nuno Mendes, Sangio, Tuchameni with the interception as Bellingham couldn't take the ball back for his team now. Zaire
Yeah,
Emery.
Bellingham.
Sorry,
Tell
go
you
on.
what, Bellingham with that relentless play style, plus he just doesn't lose stamina. As Mbappe, little scoop turn, goes round, tucks another goal away, and that probably takes care of business, you would imagine. But,
Yeah,
yeah, just
you
to
would have
touch
thought
back
so.
on Bellingham, sorry, is that the play style plus, he's got relentless, so he basically gets like a full stamina again at half time. So he just basically never runs out of stamina. It's absolutely mad.
It's like second wind in the old days of pro clubs where you used to be able to grab your traits from completing certain challenges. Vinny Jr. Oh, good defending there from Montana, who really don't want Faneka to get this pause come through, as Mbappe looking to go for another goal. It is going to be Alaba trying to stop him, but Courtois with a massive save denies the French striker. Is it is all it's just all Montana here, isn't it? And there's another goal, and well, if the last one wasn't, that one is going to be the nail in the coffin. Montana were the better team here today, and unfortunately, UConn will have to go away from this match, improve on themselves, and when that rematch comes around, they're going to have to do that absolute best, because Montana are looking like a very, very strong squad here.
Yeah, looking good. They played well in both games. You know, they've scored 7 goals so far across 2 matches. Haven't conceded in the second leg either. So, you know, they've upped their defensive game in this one. Unless UConn can maybe pick a goal or 2 up, it's going to look fairly comfortable on paper for MSU. 3-0 up so far. 60 minutes gone, so only 30 minutes left in game. But yeah, it's been a tough one for Faneka this evening.
Yeah, it's not been the easiest night for him, has it? It's been a difficult one. Ball whipped in for Vinny, but only as far as the defender, as they do win themselves a corner. The ball is put behind. Alaba will take, whipped in to Eder Militao, but cleared away. Valverde going to take the power shot on. Donnarumma palms it away for another corner.
Yeah, another corner, and we see no real goalkeeper movement coming out here, which is something that we normally see in other modes and with other players. There's a big header there, and Donnarumma makes a really good save actually. But yeah,
That's
it's
why you got to
just
move the keeper.
yeah, I would just say bring him out to the edge of the 6-yard box, because you know you can catch some of these corners,
Ooh,
take the pressure off. Hosselu bags a goal. There goes the clean sheet, but there's still an awful long way to go.
yeah, there is a long way to go here in this game, and you never know. UConn could do it, but they are still, what, 4 goals behind, is it?
Yeah, 7-3 on aggregate now.
Vinny Jr. coming down the left-hand side. Hakimi definitely able to catch up to him with pace, and the referee's seen something that she doesn't like. I'm not too sure what it is, but a free kick will be given.
See it played short. Vinny Jr. looking to get down the wing, and there's just not really been much joy, has there, for Faneka in this one? 3-1, you know, goal from a corner from set piece, so not really sort of created too many opportunities, and Donnarumma really hasn't had too much more to do. And Mbappe running through chip shots pretty bad this year on the game, so avoiding that, opting for a couple of flip flaps in and out, but yeah, well defended by Faneka this time. Chance here, maybe no. Faneka steps in again and wins the ball. We're into the final 20 minutes now. It's really just a formality, and it's a case of who's actually going to grab the last goal, and will there be any more goals for MSU? They're definitely looking like a force to be reckoned with this season.
Yeah, most definitely they are looking pretty damn good. We'll have to see if they can, um, go back off this game and see if they can continue this form into next week and the week after that. I don't know who they've got next week, Montana, but I'll have a quick look on my sheet. They are playing against Howard, so Howard won tonight, and they will be playing against them next week at 5:50 p.m. Eastern Time. So that'll be a great game. Two of the better team, well, the 2 best teams from week 2, let's say.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if there's any roster changes as well throughout the whole season, because we've had it in the past where we've had some players that have been playing week in, week out. We've had some that go on vacation and that, and they get replaced. So there's always an interesting period of the season when people are away on vacation or they're just taking a week off or they're rotating their roster. So I don't know if there's too much depth in the rosters this season as there has been previously. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if we get the same matchups kind of week in, week out.
Yeah, for sure. I think we probably at the moment. I know that MSU and UConn only have, I think, one player currently for each team. So we'll have to see what the other teams have got. I think William and Mary have one player as well. So yeah, it seems like we're going to have a very close, very tight knit little EGF Season 5 for FC24. But Marquinhos cutting out the ball there with his anchor play style. And Donnarumma clearing it away into touch. No chances being taken there.
Yeah, just straight out into touch, not really taking any risks there. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter if he did take risks because even if he concedes, it's not really going to make much difference on the overall scoring. We've got 3-1 in the second leg, 7-3 on aggregate. So yeah, they're looking good though, MSU, able to score goals, good skillers as well. Utilizing 5-star skill moves, utilizing players with 5-star weak foot as well. And there's a big tackle there. That's possibly going to be a red as well to go on top, is it? Just going to be the penalty. See if Mbappe can tuck it away against Courtois. Times it well. Puts it in the bottom right. 4 goals to 1. 8 goals to 3. It's a hat trick for Kylian Mbappe. It really is game over now. And yeah, one to forget for UConn this week, I think.
Yeah, definitely. No celebrations though, which you love to see. Good mutual respect between the players. No griddies. You don't usually see that from UConn. If UConn are winning by a good lead, they will always griddy. Always. That is a Feneca special.
You love a griddy as well.
I do. Except when it happens against me. But either way, that is going to be the win. Coming out for Montana as they pick up their first win of the EGFC season.
Yeah, like I said, looking really, really good. Scoring, 8 goals across 2 games. Pretty solid. Only conceding 3 as well. So able to win by a pretty big margin. Looking solid in attack and defence. Even with a weakened squad where, it was Al Hilal as well.
Yeah, very, very true indeed. And just so you guys can see the final scores on the doors for the evening, it will be Montana picking up the win over UConn. 8 goals to 3, a massive scoreline. Matt, you predicted that we'd get a big scoreline in one of these games, and, well, we got it here in this one.
Yeah, I just think at the moment, it's still very early into the game cycle. No one really knows how to defend that well. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of goals for a couple of weeks until there's maybe a patch on defending or people start to get to grips with it. But, yeah, another solid week. We'll be back next week as well with some more action. So, yeah, back over to you.
Yeah, have a lovely rest of your week, guys. As always, make sure to go follow the social medias of EGF. Stick around, because tomorrow we're going to have some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. You do not want to miss that here on twitch.tv/officialEGF. But from me and Matt, that's all we have time for. We'll see you next time. Same time, same place, 5 PM Eastern Time. And yeah, we'll see you soon, guys. Have a lovely rest of your week.
See you there.